Assalamu alaikum and welcome back.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We were talking before about some of the remedies for anger. Some of the remedies for anger. The next remedy that we look at is that the person who is afflicted with this disease of excessive anger, then he should remember that his anger has been caused by something that happened according to Allah's decree. And nothing happens except by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. And so this wasn't his own will often. He should say to himself, why did I get angry? Why should I get angry? Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has willed, then that has happened. So he should know that Allah's will is more deserving of him being pleased with than his own will. And this is a very important point. So for example, if a person comes along and he's angry because he got demotion, for example, at work. Okay, he got demoted at work. Rather than getting angry about it, of course he can't perhaps help his internal state, but he should control his anger. And rather than, lashing out or something like that, he should say to himself, actually, this is by Allah's will. And I shouldn't actually get angry, because if I'm getting angry with this, then I'm actually getting angry with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. He should also remember that excessive anger often leads to actions that he will regret. And he'll feel remorseful. He should save himself the embarrassment of having to apologize for actions that he'll later be ashamed of. And we saw that in the example that you gave in the last episode. Can you just repeat that for the viewers?
As I said in the last episode, there were two partners. They had a cafe, and actually they broke the cafe because they were angry with each other.
They split up as partners.
Yeah. Because they were angry with each other.
And they got into a fight or something?
No.
No?
Just with words.
Okay.
Yes.
Because of words, okay.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes worse.
Yes.
Sometimes when the person speaks with his tongue, it's
worse than beating each other.
Yeah. So the person felt regret afterwards?
Yes, but actually they didn't apologize to each other. Because, sometimes it's hard to apologize.
Now, if they'd implemented this point, if they, at the time of getting angry, they felt, actually, if I say something now, it will lead to bad consequences.
Yes.
And it will lead to regret. It will lead to embarrassment. And it will lead to bad, consequences. If they thought that, would that have cured that problem at that time?
Yes, I think so.
And you'll see that a lot of these remedies are practical remedies that we can do, that we can think about at that time. The next remedy, he should remind himself that people actually avoid and keep away from people who have a short temper. And if he continues in his anger, he'll end up by himself, possibly losing his family, friends and job. And it's therefore appropriate for him to ensure that he controls his anger. I'm sure we've all seen this. I mean, there's often people where you just avoid. And one of the reasons is, if he's coming this way, you go home the other way. Why? Because of his anger. Because any little thing that a person does, he'll get angry, he'll get irritated, and so it's best to avoid that person, otherwise we'll end up into an argument. He should also seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the rejected shaitan, as the Prophet ﷺ ordered us to do. Let's take your example, Muhammad. Repeat it for the viewers. You gave an example in the last episode about someone getting angry.
Yeah, I mentioned in the last episode that, for instance, if a group of friends are playing football or any type of sports, and one of them in the other team perhaps does something that the other team dislikes, or maybe they dislike a decision that the referee made, then most likely that team, or the person in which the decision was made against, he will get angry.
Sometimes, yeah.
But if he was to seek refuge in Allah, and accept it, or perhaps sit down or leave the game, and then he will not become angry.
Yes.
And then none of the bad qualities and the disadvantages of anger will not show.
So for example, in this case, he should seek refuge in Allah from shaitan, as the Prophet ﷺ said. We can even apply the previous remedy, as we said, that he should remember that excessive anger leads him to actions and consequences that later he will regret. How could that help here?
Because
what happens if a person gets angry and, for example,
most likely,
punches someone else on the football pitch?
Yeah, it will have repercussions. Firstly, he'll have to apologize. He will review what he did.
But does he get banned?
Most likely he'll get banned. So then repercussions, I mean, the list can go on, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu, he said that the Prophet ﷺ said, when one of you becomes angry while standing, he he should sit down. If the anger leaves him, well and good. Otherwise, he should lie down. And again, this is a practical way that the Prophet ﷺ showed us. A person gets into an argument with his wife, rather than carrying on arguing, let him sit down. If that doesn't, let him go to bed, go to sleep, go lie down, make wudu in some narrations also.
I guess it's harder to punch if you're sitting down, right?
It's harder to punch when you're sitting down as well. The last remedy, if you like, he should supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He should ask Him to remove his evil characteristic and replace it with many good qualities. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one who actually created us. أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ. Doesn't He not know the one who created? So He's the one who created us. He knows what we are about. And we'll touch up on this point, inshallah, after looking at some remedies that some of the people on the street thought could cure anger.
I control my anger by, like taking things easily. And I think about what I'm doing like a million times before I do anything, so that I wouldn't regret it in the future. And I just try to control my temper.
Just try to control himself when he's angry, and try not to take any action while he's angry.
I think it's about controlling himself and controlling his actions.
Well, I think that getting angry makes us get in bad mode, and makes us can't cope in situations in life. Makes us mad or upset. That's all.
Anger is a human nature. We shouldn't be angry because we may lose some people we love.
When I got my grades, I found that they were very bad. That's why I felt myself very angry. And I think my anger was permissible in this situation.
Well, Islam can help in curing anger by reading Quran and getting closer to Allah and praying.
Very interesting comments made by the brothers.